Overwatch is a crappy game. I love it. Kinda. It's weird. The game is important to me, but I have mixed feelings about the game that I have sunk in about 1,000 hours into. It's a crappy game because every time I play it, I want to pull my eyes out of their sockets. This needs to end today! But it's also a great game because of this one special thing this game has. We'll talk about that soon. I made this video simply because I have to talk about this game and how it makes me feel. I'm going to do my best to convey my mixed thoughts into some kind of easy to understand format, because there is a lot to talk about. So let's start with Overwatch 1 made roughly $1 billion in its first year. It had roughly 50 million players after 3 years. At least that's what the wiki page says. I just know from memory that the game was booming and I was part of that boom. I loved Overwatch. I was excited to play it after work. This game easily drained my time away. The trailers hyped everybody up, the music that played triumphantly in the background as you were about to achieve victory actually felt good at the time. The game made you excited to win. Pulling off massive plays felt rewarding and satisfying. There was a certain magic to the game that made you addicted. I talk about the beginning of this game's life because I think it's important to how we feel about the game now. Essentially, Overwatch 1 had such a strong start that the following years couldn't possibly compete. Look at the game today. The music building up to victory no longer produces an emotion like before. We've heard the song play literally millions of times. Most players probably turn off the music nowadays anyways. Some players like me became so obsessed with metas and hero tier lists instead of playing what is fun to us. Victory feels like nothing, while hearing defeat still feels like crap. That's a problem. Why do we play video games? Simply put, we play games because they produce a positive feeling while playing it. So if you feel nothing from the victory, while also feeling like crap from the loss, then the game has failed at making us feel good. If you ask people why they like playing a certain game, they most likely have a definitive answer. But ask me why I play Overwatch now, I kinda struggled to find an answer. An answer that I now have as I write this script, but we'll get around to that later. The point is that there really isn't much incentive to play the game, so why do I do it? I don't really care for the overpriced skins. I no longer care about my rank. I don't care about the meta and hero tier lists anymore. It feels like I don't really care about anything the game has for me. I started playing other FPS titles and I realized something. There's something fundamentally missing in this game that other FPSs have, but Overwatch doesn't. It's actually so important that I'm surprised the game has gone this long without it. I'm talking about I was actually watching the Black Ops 6 reveal event live, and I saw something I hadn't seen in a while. Before I continue, yes, Overwatch became so boring that I was actually considering playing COD again. Basically, COD has this thing in all their games called progression systems. When you get to a certain level, you unlock new guns, perks, and equipment to add to your personal loadout. The weapons themselves actually have levels as well. The more you use a weapon, the more levels you gain. More levels mean you can unlock more attachments to your favorite guns. Then, there are weapon camos that can be unlocked through completing certain challenges for the gun. You can probably see where I'm getting at. There is a reason to grind the game. There are things to unlock, worthwhile things. Even games released back in 2010 like Halo Reach had a progression system. The more you played, the more credits you earned. More credits allowed you to customize your Spartan however you pleased. That was cool because you saw your crazy abominations in the story's cutscenes too. Again, a pretty good reason to play. The armor your Spartan wore was a symbol of how dedicated you were to the game. There was no way to pay more money and skip to get your favorite items. Same with COD. You had to play the game to make progress in it. What sort of progression does Overwatch have? It's just the Battle Pass. Yeah, that's it. There are other FPS games that make this mistake, but let's just focus on Overwatch. First off, Battle Passes aren't supposed to be the one and only progression system. Second, the only good things in them are just the skins. Sometimes. But let's say you are like me, and you don't have the Battle Pass. There's no reason for me to play then. Like I said earlier, I don't care about rank, don't care about meta. Why bother playing the game at this point? Here's what I wish they did. They introduced hero levels at some point, and they could have done cool things with this. But something they could have done was add more incentive to level up your favorite characters. Imagine if you got to a certain character level and you unlocked a cool skin. That is only obtainable by playing the character. No paying money to skip to the end crap. Hell, imagine getting to a really high character level and the game rewards you with mythic tokens that you can use to unlock mythic skins for any of the characters that have them. Hero levels would actually have a point. Blizzard would never do this, of course. They want you to pay for the cool skins. What I'm trying to do right now is establish some kind of progression system that truly rewards the player for their efforts. Because the Battle Pass being the only system is ridiculous. There are gold and jade weapon skins. I mean, that's something, but it isn't enough. Also, you can only get those weapon skins by playing competitive. So if you're not a competitive player, you can't access them. And there are plenty of issues with that game mode as well. I'm not talking about the hackers or the toxicity.
Diff, bro. Honestly, if I were you, just tie yourself to the ceiling fan. Yeah, tank diffs. More like you fucking charge for the whole game. Yo, suck his dick in here. Yo, I want to hear your voice, Mercy. Come in here and say some shit, bro. I dare you.
I'm talking about players, no matter what game we are talking about, like to obsess over what are the strongest items in the game. In COD, that is finding the best weapon in the current patch. In Overwatch, that is selecting the best heroes to increase your odds of winning. This is a tremendous problem because the game wants you to pick whatever heroes you like playing. But if you want to climb the ranks, you have to pick whatever heroes are strongest. That means if your favorite hero isn't strong, you have to pick something else you probably don't like. Remember what I said earlier. The game has to produce positive feelings in order to be worth playing. The easiest way for a game like Overwatch to do this would be to allow me to play my favorite character. This only becomes an issue in the competitive game mode. The higher up the ranks you go, the more likely you have to play what is strongest, not what is fun. Basically, the higher up you go in rank, the more boring the game becomes, as you will start to see the same characters in almost every game. Overwatch has a huge roster so that each game still feels fresh, but that idea goes right out the window in competitive. Some people might say that it's fine, just pick the meta because what is important right now is winning. I used to be that kind of gamer, but I have to be honest, I lost motivation to play the game. I grew to hate the game for a while. I wasn't excited to play because my favorite hero, Ana, wasn't meta. I think most of you also lost motivation to play the game based around what the current meta was. Some players left at their goats, some players left at their double shield, and I kinda get it. Well, I do get it. Playing the heroes you want to play is what makes Overwatch special. Players have gravitated towards quick play because of this truth. Quick play isn't as toxic, and it isn't important to pick the meta heroes. You can simply play whatever heroes you feel like. This is what Overwatch was meant to be, and yet, the competitive mode doesn't fulfill that. With everything I have said, you must think I absolutely hate this game. Wrong. Completely wrong. Every point I've made so far are the main gripes I have for the game currently, but there is something that keeps me coming back every time. This is something that only Overwatch is good at. It's unique to the game that I can't find anywhere else. I'm simply talking about remember the Overwatch 2 trailer? Lots of gamers were hyped. I was too, but something I want to highlight from the trailers was how well the characters worked as a team. I thought at the time, yeah, that's actually what Overwatch is about. Overwatch is about how these characters work together as a unit. At least to me, this is what I think keeps me playing. What do the tanks do? They eat up as much damage as they can take without dying so that they can take space on the map, which allows the other roles to do their part effectively. What do the DPS do? They figure out how best they can apply pressure to the opposing team to increase their odds of winning the team fight. What do the supports do? They keep their team alive while also providing useful utility that can give their team an edge in the fight. No matter what state Overwatch is in, the game always follows this recipe. All roles have a purpose. To me, this is what makes Overwatch special compared to other FPS games. This is why Overwatch is still important to me. The current player base has stuck around through everything Blizzard has thrown at us, because the game is unique as a hero shooter. It offers something that can't be found in other game titles. I don't know about you, but this is what makes Overwatch special to me. Overwatch is important to me. It easily sucked away my time and money when it first came out. I was there to witness the Overwatch League and dive meta. I was there during GOATs and double shield meta. I was there when they introduced role queue. I was there when all the allegations came about. Still, Overwatch has a special place in my balls. I don't regret putting thousands of hours into this game, and I still like playing this game from time to time. I just have a desire to play other things. Overwatch has become the kind of game that I download again, play it for about a month, then uninstall it again. Soon, games like Marvel Rivals and Deadlock will come out, and maybe they will replace Overwatch for good. We'll see. But for now, I say goodbye to Overwatch. Until I reinstall it months later.